Hello everybody. Today we start with a new chapter in maths for standard 10th ICSE, that is circles. Circles, the chapter is a continuation of what you had done in the 9th standard. So in the 9th standard what we learned was the chord properties. So the chord properties are now going to be a part and parcel of that thing. So we need to know the chord properties also. But at the same time, what we are going to have over here will be the arc properties. So properties of the arc is what we are going to be learning in the 10th standard. The chapter is a theorem based chapter, so we need to know the theorems properly. If you know the theorems of the circles properly, then getting the answers or getting through the solution to the answer is very easy, because the theorems are just to be applied. But the problem is that which theorem to apply when is the most critical part. So that's the reason you require a lot of practice in case of this particular chapter. Right, so that is initial stages. Yes, you need to know the theorems properly. Moreover, certain theorems are such that they can even be asked as a question in the examination. So they can tell you to prove a particular theorem directly. So that will be the complete question, that okay, prove the theorem, prove a particular theorem, or they will give you the sentence of the theorem and say prove that thing. So that it is possible that they can ask you to write the theorem completely with the solution. So that is one thing. Luckily, the boards have prescribed that they will be asking only the calculation based questions in which you need to find out the angles. So the proof based questions of circles have been cancelled. So people, you should always remember that okay, when any particular question where you need to prove something, it's normally not going to be there unless and until it is a very simple kind of a proof. So what we'll do is that whenever we are going through the chapter, so in the start of the chapter, I'll just let you know that which are the sums which are cancelled, or you may skip those sums because these sums are proof based. So the proof based sums can be cancelled, but of course the proof based sums which are very simple, or just direct application of the theorem is there, that will definitely be a part and parcel of the syllabus. So you will need to be like cautious that okay, what to skip and what not to skip in case of the circles ka proof based sums. So first of all, let us understand certain general things about the circle. So talking about the circles in general, we know very well that circle is a closed figure such that the distance of any point on the circle will be equal from a particular point. So that particular point what you are talking about is called as the center of the circle, and the distance from that point to the thing over here is called as the radius. So radius is the distance between the fixed point and the points on the circle, and if you are extending this radius in such a way that it's a straight line touching the two things over here, then it is called as the diameter. We very well know this thing, that's a diameter. And if any other line which is drawn joining two points on the circle, this is called as a chord. So we can say in a certain way that diameter is a longest chord. So diameter of the circle is the longest chord. That can be easily understood. So this is a chord. Now another thing over here is the circle, the chord properties what we had studied in the 9th standard. So we need to know the chord properties which were there in the 9th standard. The first one was that if I got a circle and if I got a chord over here, then this chord, if I drop a perpendicular from the center to the chord, if I'm dropping a perpendicular from the center to the chord, it will automatically bisect the chord. So that means if OM is perpendicular to AB, then if OM is perpendicular to AB, then as per the theorem AM is equals to BM. So that is the theorem that perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord bisects the chord. Perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord bisects the chord. So that is an important theorem which was there in the 9th standard. Converse of this thing is also true, that if I join the line from the center to the midpoint of the chord, then it will be perpendicular to it. So the line joining the center to the midpoint of the chord is perpendicular to it. So that is the converse of this theorem, that is the chord property. The next property of the chord was that equal chords are equidistant from the center. So if I got the circle over here, and in the circle if they are chord, one chord over here and another chord over here, if I know that this chord and this chord are equal, then I can say that the distance from here O to perpendicular distance over here M and ON, so if AB, therefore it is given this way, that if AB and CD are the two chords, so if AB is equals to CD, then OM will be equal to ON. So perpendicular distance, that is the form, the theorem is equal chords are equidistant from the center. Equal chords are equidistant from the center. So this is the next theorem. Automatically we can give the converse of the thing also, that if the chords are equidistant from the center, then the chords are equal. So if this is equal, then this is equal. So vice versa, both the cases vice versa is going to be true. So that gives us the 4 theorems what we have got in the for the 9th standard. So equal chords subtend equal angles, equal chords are equidistant from the center, and perpendicular drawn from the center to chord bisects the chord. So that is one thing. The next thing is that I can draw only one and only one circle passing through 3 different non-collinear points. If I have taken 3 non-collinear points, so if I got non-collinear points, so what are non-collinear points? That are not in a straight line. So if this one is here, this one is here, and this one is here, then I can draw only one and only one circle passing through all these 3 points. I can draw only one circle passing through all the 3 points. That is nothing but the perpendicular bisectors of this 2 line and perpendicular bisector of this line. ये जहाँ intersect होगा, that will be a center, and from there to take a radius and draw the circle. So this will be the thing, that you can draw one and only one circle passing through 3 non-collinear points. So that is the 5th theorem what we learned in the 9th standard. The next theorem what we had learned was that equal chord subtend equal arcs. So if the chords are equal, so if we have got a circle over here, and if this is a chord over here, and if I know that, and another chord over here, then if I know that AB is equal to CD, then automatically arc AB will also be equal to arc CD. So this is another thing which is going to be there in case of the 9th standard theorem. So I'll just we can just check it up later on when I think this was there. But anyway, if it is not there, we can, one sec. Okay, then this will be in the 10th standard, so let's forget that part. Okay, so we had got only those ones. So after this, we start now with what are the theorems which are present in the 10th standard. So we start with the 10th standard theorems. Or before that, I need to just check it up if you require anything further. Yeah, you will require one more thing, and that is the types of circles. So one is these, if 2 circles are like this, then these 2 circles are disjoint or non-overlapping. If it is like this, they are overlapping. Okay? This is overlapping over here. It could be like this. Then it is touching externally. Touching externally. Okay, this is touching externally. If it is like this, okay, touching over here, that is touching internally. Okay, these 2 are touching externally, these 2 are touching internally, and one more could be like this. If the center is the same, and they are circles like this, then they are concentric. Okay, so these are the different kinds of when you have got two or more circles, and then you need to know that these are the points. So this joint means they are not intersecting each other at all. These one are intersecting one or overlapping one. So these are overlapping or intersecting. These are touching externally, these are touching internally, and these are concentric. So these are the different kinds of circles which could be given. Now this would, as such, you don't require this thing, but remember one thing, whenever the figure is not given to you and you are asked to draw something and do it, then you may require these kind of things to be understood, that because they will just tell you there are two intersecting circles touching internally, then you should know that it is like this or like this. जो क्या है उन लोग ने क्या दिया है वो समझने के लिए you will require this particular kind of diagrammatic representation. So that's why it is important for you to understand the different types of the circles which could be present. Now we will start with the portion, or we can say the theorems which are connected to the 10 standard. Okay, so let's start with the 10 standard thing. Okay, I want you to be very attentive right now, because we are going to describe the proof of the theorems. So it's very important. So we first, the first thing is we are talking about arcs and its types. Okay, there will be different arcs, the segment relationship. So we know very well that if I got a circle over here, and this circle, so this A, B over here, if I take a point C over here and a D over here, then I can see that arc ACB is minor arc and arc ADB is major arc. Okay, this is a minor arc. So this part is the minor arc, whereas this part is the major arc. So minor arc and major arc. Similarly, if I draw this line over here, so the chord AB is there, then the chord AB divides the circle into two parts, that is called as segments. So this area over here, this part over here, this one is segment ACB is minor segment, and segment ADB is major segment. Okay, so always arc, okay, or the chord divides the circle into two parts, the smaller part called as the minor segment and the bigger part called as the major segment. Okay, so when we're talking about a diameter who is doing that thing, it is a semicircle, so we don't have to bother about it. But otherwise you will always find that the arc is going to be dividing the circle into two parts, minor segment and major segment. So always there will be two segments formed by a particular arc, okay, or even a chord. So that is the arc property. Now, so basically a segment is a part of the circle bounded by an arc and a chord. So this part, this is bounded by a arc and a chord. So this is the segment. Of course, this is also a segment, this is a major segment. Okay. Now we will be understanding the another part, and that is each and every arc is going to be subtending. It subtends. Each and every arc subtends. Subtends means what? It is going to project. It is going to form. Okay, subtend means form or project, or so that is forming an angle. So this is an angle which is formed at the center. Okay, so angle AOB. Okay, this is angle AOB is angle subtended by arc AB at the center. Okay, so angle AOB is at the center. So that's the arc subtended by the that is the angle subtended by the arc at the center. Got it? So angle AOB, that is this angle, is subtended by this arc. So this arc के दोनों points R से अगर हम लोग ने दोनों arms बनाए, which is going to intersect at the center, then this angle AOB is the angle subtended by arc ACB or AB. You just write AB, that's also fine enough. Similarly, if I take a point anywhere on the circle, let's say take the D point over here, then angle ADB, this angle over here, is the angle subtended by AB at the circumference. So, angle ADB is angle subtended by arc AB on the circumference. Okay, so the arc so the arc can subtend angle at the center as well as at the circumference, and at the circumference there could be multiple of those things. It could be at any point. I can have a point, same over here, it can be this way, or it can be even this way, or it can be even this way. All these are going to be the angles. So AXB, AYB, AZB, all these are angles subtended by AB at the circumference. Got it? So what that is the main concept about the angle formed by an arc. So the angle formed by the arc is called as the angle subtended by the arc. Okay? So angle subtended by the arc is this way. Now over here you can see that the same AB could have subtended an arc even over here, right? Arc AB could have done on the same segment in this segment also, but हम लोग वो नहीं लेंगे. हम लोग always ये line के ये side पे जो है उन सब लोगों को compare करेंगे. So that is why we are going to compare only the angle subtended by the arc in the same segment. Okay, what is segment? This is a segment. This complete thing, I'll just mark it. For AB, this is the segment. This is the segment. This particular thing is a segment. ये पूरा का पूरा एक segment है. Got it? So angles which are formed in this segment, that is AOB, AXDB, ADB, AYB, AZB, all are the angles subtended by AB in one of the segments. Okay, you will learn it as you, as there is no confusion. It is called angles in the segment. So angle या segment यानी यही particular segment के अंदर की बात कर रहे हैं. We are not considering the angle formed over here. If I draw an angle over here ACB, then ACB is not in the same segment. Okay, it is not in because this segment is different and this segment is different. This is a minor segment, this is a major segment. So here we are forming everything in the major segment. You can have in the minor segment also, but when you are comparing them, you normally be comparing only in the same segment. You are not going to be comparing in the different segments. So now let's see the first theorem of circles. So let's see the first theorem. So the theorem goes this way. The angle which an arc of a circle subtends at the center is double that which is subtended at any other point on the remaining part of the circumference. Okay, we'll draw it and then understand it. So, if this is a circle and if this is the arc AB, this center O, this is point D. So I have got one angle which is angle ADB and the other angle is angle AOB. So the theorem states that the angle at the center, that is angle at the center, is equal to twice the angle at the circumference. Okay, 2 times. That means if this is x, this will be 2x. That's the theorem. What's the theorem? That if the angle subtended by the arc, okay, the angle subtended by the arc on the circumference is x, then the angle subtended by the same arc at the center will be twice, that is 2x. Understood the theorem? So the theorem states, now let's read the theorem once again. The angle which an arc of a circle, the angle which an arc of a circle subtends at the center is double that which it subtends at any point on the remaining part of the circumference. So if I draw like this, or यहाँ पे अगर करूँ, means if I draw something like this, or if I draw something like this, in all the cases, if this is 2x, this will be x and this will be x. Clear? So the theorem states that angle subtended by an arc at the center is twice that subtended at any other point on the circumference of the circle. So that is why it is going to be that angle ADB is half angle AOB, or angle AOB is twice angle ADB. Now let's see the proof of this particular thing. How do we prove that this thing is going to take place? So for this, we have a very simple thing. We are just going to draw one line like this. So now I know that triangle AOD is an isosceles triangle. Why? Think. AOD is an isosceles triangle. Why is it so? Because this is equal to this, as it is the radius of the circle. Because these two are the radius, automatically ये दोनों equal हो गया. तो अगर ये अगर A है, तो ये भी A ही होगा. Right? Angles opposite to equal sides are equal. Therefore, if these two sides are equal, then angles opposite to this and angle opposite to this will be equal. And moreover, if I draw this line, if I just extend this line, that is an exterior angle over here. So this exterior angle will be equal to 2A, because it is equal sum of the other two interior angles. So if ये A है और ये A है, तो ये 2A होगा. Similarly, if I have got over here that this angle is B, and this, so therefore this will be equal to this because they are radius. So this will be also B. So this is B and this is B. So exterior angle over here will be 2B. Got it? So now what we see over here, that A plus B and here 2A plus 2B. So we can see angle AOB. What is angle AOB? Angle AOB is 2A plus 2B. And what is angle ADB? ADB is equal to A plus B. So therefore we see that ADB is equal to, one second, 2A plus 2B. Yeah. So therefore A plus B, just a minute. Okay, 2 का जरूरत नहीं है. So we know that AOB is twice angle AOB. So that's why we can see over here that this ABA is nothing but 2 times ADB. Okay, 2 times ADB is equal to, one second. We are not taking any equation, this is not equal. Right? We are just proving this thing. We are proving this thing. So we have AOB. So we have got angle AOB is equal to 2A plus 2B, whereas angle ADB is equal to A plus B. Therefore you can see that AOB is equal to twice, because this is nothing but twice A plus B. Got it? Understood the proof? That this is A and this is A. So this is 2A. This is B and this is B, so this is 2B. So accordingly, this angle ADB is A plus B. So angle AOB will be 2A plus 2B. Then we see that angle AOB is the angle at the center will be twice the angle at the circumference. So this was the first theorem. You can see the proof also given over here in the textbook. That is theorem number 5 as the textbook. So very important. So what I want you to all to do is, in your notebook you need to write this complete theorem along with the figure, so that you practice it properly, because this could be a 3-mark question. It could be a question that prove the theorem that angle which an arc makes with the center will be twice that at the circumference. You can you can be asked this question directly. So in such a case, you will have to first write down, draw this figure, okay, draw the figure and then say what is given, and then say what is to be proved, and whatever construction is there you to do, and then the statement wise you have to write over there that how we are getting this particular kind of a thing, that this a plus a is equal to 2a and 2b plus b is 2b, so a plus b is equal to 2a plus 2b. So that is what you need to do in this particular case. So that is how you are going to get this thing. The next one, the next theorem now. So the next theorem is very easy once you understand this one. Once you understand this one, then the next theorem very easy. What is the theorem? That if there is a circle, so if we have a circle, and if these are the two chords, these are the 2 points, the A and B, so this is the arc AB. So angle formed by AB like this, and the angle formed by like this, that is ADB and AEB. So that will be angle ADB will be equal to angle AEB. This is the theorem. So what is the theorem? The theorem is angles in the same segment are equal. Okay, angles in the same segment of a circle are equal. The proof is very simple. What you need to do is just take the center over here and draw like this. So if you know that if this is x, this will be 2x, and if this is a, this will be 2a. So automatically 2x and 2a are the same nonce, because they are the same. So therefore 2x is equal to 2a, therefore x is equal to a. Okay, very simple thing, because you already know that the angle at the center will be a single angle. It cannot be multiple centers. So there is only one center. So accordingly, the angle subtended at the center by AB will be a singular thing, and that will be twice of the anything at the circumference. So ये x है तो ये 2x होगा, ये है तो ये 2a होगा. So if the same angle, 2x is equal to 2a, so x is equal to a. Okay. So very simple theorem, that is angles in the same segment are equal. Angles in the same segment are equal. That is the second theorem. Now we move on to the third theorem. So again you need to, this normally they will not ask because it's a very simple proof. So but anyway, you can just write it down. The theorem number 6, whatever is there, you need to write it down properly. The third theorem is angle in a semicircle are equal. So that's the third theorem, that if I got a circle and if this is the diameter, then angle formed over here will always be 90 degrees. So this is A, O, B and C. It will always be that angle ACB is equal to 90 degrees. This is the theorem that angles subtended, or the angles in a semicircle, is right angle. Okay, angle in a semicircle is right angle. The proof is absolutely very simple. How it is simple? You know that there is a diameter. So what is the angle over here? The angle over here is 180 degrees. So angle at the center will be half that of the circumference. Okay, sorry, angle at the circumference will be half of that of the center. So अगर ये क्या हो गया, angle AOB is equals to twice angle ACB. So 180 upon 2 is equals to ACB. If angle ACB is equals to 90 degrees. Simple. So you can see over here, if this is 180 degrees, this will be 90 degrees. And hence, all the angles which could be formed by the diameter, that means it could be something like this, it could be something like this, all of them will be 90 degrees only. So all the angles, as such also we know that okay, A 90 hai, so these are in the same segment. Okay, A this one, all are in the same segment. So अगर ये 90 है तो ये भी 90 होगा, ये भी 90 होगा. So even by this theorem we are proving it. But otherwise also we know that अगर ये 180 है तो 90 है, तो ये 180 है तो ये 90 है, ये 180 है तो ये 90 है. So that's why angles in a semicircle are equal. So angles in a semicircle are equal is your theorem number 7 as per the textbook, otherwise third theorem as per this chapter. So there are three, we have learned three theorems right now. The first theorem is the angle at the center is twice that of the angle subtended by the arc on the circumference. Second one, angles in the same segment are equal. Angles in the same segment are equal. Okay, second theorem. Third theorem is angles in a angles in a semicircle are right angles, or angles in a semicircle is a right angle. So that is the three theorems what we have. Now we continue with the theorem number 4, that is about cyclic quadrilateral, but that will be in the next video.